Okay, welcome to our first vegetarian cooking segment. We're going to be making mac and cheese with a bread topping and gourmet mushrooms on top. So basically, first we're going to do is make a white sauce. And this is, in French, it's called a bechamel sauce, and it's the mother of all sauces. Making gravy, cheese sauce, bechamel sauce for lasagna. So it's a basic white sauce. So next time we do this officially, we're going to measure, but we're winging things today. So basically, it's equal parts butter with flour to make the roux. And I'm using ghee, which is clarified butter. And on a different segment, we're going to show you how to make ghee. So right now, I've got, and I'm using a large saucepan because there's going to be a lot of stirring and whipping, and you want to have ample room so that you don't overflow the pot. So I'm going to add regular white flour to the heated oil, and if the camera can pan in here, we're going to just stir this until the flour is absorbed. When it starts to clump up, then you know you've added enough. And this is going to be on a medium heat. And you can see that it's starting to foam. What's the word we're looking for, Mikey? Foam? It's starting to form. Oh, English is my third language. Into a paste. So we're going to cook it, stirring constantly, and they say to get rid of the raw flour taste of the flour. And the longer you leave this flour in here to cook, the browner your sauce will become. So if you want a brown sauce, you'll leave this cooking for a longer time. We're basically making a white sauce, so we just want it to cook it till we get rid of the raw flour taste. And you want to keep stirring using a whisk so that you don't burn the flour and you cook it evenly. Now, commercial kitchens, if they're doing like a 3-gallon pot of this, will bake this roux in a 350 oven for about 20 minutes. And then you don't have to stir it. And of course it has to be an oven-proof container. So our assistant has just gotten the milk out. And we're going to flavor this with a couple bay leaves. Try to use big pieces because we're going to eventually want to dig those out. So 3 should be enough. Now, in most of the cooking shows that I've seen, these so-called experts, they'll heat up the milk. And in the 40 years I've been cooking, I've never heated the milk. And I think it's to, they want to avoid lumpy gravy, but I've never had lumpy gravy, so I just use cold milk. It's probably better to cook it a little bit more than undercook it, because you don't want that raw flour taste in your bechamel sauce. So we're just going to add salt to taste, maybe tablespoon of celery salt, and a tablespoon of white pepper. And these are my basic seasoning almost for every cuisine I make, whether it's Chinese, Asian. Salt, celery salt, and white pepper and black pepper. Now we're going to add some fresh ground black pepper to this. And you'll find in cooking and eating, it's all about chemistry. And almost every recipe will have salt and pepper. So the roux is nice and bubbling. And we're going to add some nutmeg. That's a very common ingredient to bechamel sauce. You don't want to add any one seasoning where it will overpower the dish. You just barely want to taste the nutmeg. So now we're going to add the milk, and as we add it, we're going to put a medium flame and stir it vigorously to get the flour off the bottom. So mix it, try to get all the flour up. And I'm going to use a little white wine. And those of you that are non-alcohol drinkers, they pretty much agree that the alcohol will evaporate off as soon as it comes to boil. So we'll put about half a cup of white wine.